Amarawa Hopa, thank you for joining us. We start in Washington, D.C., where more federal funding is being made available to support Native language revitalization. Last week, the U.S. Department of Education announced $1 million in grant funding for language projects. Money will go to partial and full immersion projects. It will aim to expand and develop new language programs. Estimates show there are now over 200 tribal communities without first language speakers. Up until the 1990 legislation called the Native American Languages Act, Indigenous languages were only found in a few classrooms across the country. For links to all pre-application activities, visit the Office of Indian Education's website. In September, Natasha Peter, a fashion and jewelry designer from Ross River Dena Council, will be sending her work down the runway during New York Fashion Week. APTN's Sarah Connors has the story.
For Natasha Peter, culture is art. The Cascadena designer from Ross River, Yukon, is known for mixing fashion with tradition, values she incorporates with every stitch.
There was a part of me inside that was pulling towards my traditional skills because growing up, my parents had taught me to live off the land and everything. And I guess that part of me wanted to come out.
And I use a lot of the granny heel or the granny materials.
Based in Whitehorse, Peter's designs are hard to miss, like these granny hanky-inspired heels and this shawl adorned with bees.
Because you know, all the bees and stuff are disappearing and everything, so I kind of made...
And now, one of the world's biggest fashion events is taking notice. Peter's designs will hit the runway at New York Fashion Week in September. Her work was selected for Rise New York Fashion Week, a show featuring emerging and independent fashion designers. For Peter, it's a dream come true.
And here I am going to New York, one of my goals that I've been wanting to achieve for the longest time.
But just a few years ago, that dream seemed out of reach. For 15 years, Peter struggled with addiction.
I didn't really have a youth because I drank most of that part of my life away.
5 years ago, she picked up a sewing needle and has been sober ever since.
It was healing me and I didn't know. And there I was, like 2 years of being sober. And I liked that feeling, so I kept going and I started achieving a lot of things.
Peter's business, Cascadena Designs, has customers from across Canada and the U.S. Last month, one of her dresses was worn at the Junos. Just recently, she made her fashion show debut at the Alexander Reserve in Edmonton. Her goal for New York Fashion Week? Make Cascadena Designs known to the masses.
And after my fashion show in New York, I imagine that everyone else is going to know who I am.
From addictions to the world's fashion stage, Peter hopes her journey will inspire the next generation of designers.
And I hope my story will help somebody to follow their dreams too, you know?
Sarah Connors, APTN National News, Whitehorse.
In Newtown, North Dakota, the NuÉta Hidatsa Sahnish College is announcing the opening of its Four Sisters Garden Greenhouse. This new area offers a revival of the Berthold Community Garden located 1 mile west of town. The community project received $112,000 in funding through the federally recognized Tribes Extension Program. The new greenhouse facility will be used by the college and the North Dakota State University for educational programming. Improvements to the community garden will increase their ability to teach youth and adult audiences about Native agriculture and gardening. College President Twyla Baker spoke to ICT about what this space means for the community.
We have the capacity and the ability and the knowledge and the know-how and the energy to do this ourselves, to be able to sustain not just ourselves, but also those around us, our neighbors and our, the people that we live with. And we have this knowledge to share, and it's been there since forever. Everything that we need, we have within us already.
Baker says the community gardens are open for everyone to grow their own fresh produce.